OVC Dale, Gateful 33 back again today to do another thread response. This is one that Chris Propfe has started about 5 weird records, which obviously weird can mean many things, and particularly in the VC. So I think I would class myself as someone who's got fairly varied tastes and fairly varied collection on the average spectrum of the average person, and compared to some of my friends who aren't music geeks and music collectors, I am everything. I've got lots of weird and wonderful stuff, but then when I compare myself to some of the other VC videos where I see people showing stuff, I've got very, very tame collection. So it's all relative, as they say. But I think I struggle with this because I don't think, therefore, I have got much weird music. But I do like melancholy, and I can pretty much guarantee most of my collection can stop a party or kill a party mood. So I'll admit that. But that's because I enjoy, say, melancholy and listening to that. And I also feel like lean more towards the music and melody over the words and lyrics. Obviously, I still do listen to lyrics in most things, but my ear is tuned to the melody, and therefore I haven't got much really out there stuff. I was listening to a podcast. Alexis Petridis was doing an Ace Records podcast, and he had a couple of quotes that I won't say who the musicians were he was talking about, but this was about jazz, and if you like, avant-garde jazz, and I think he referred to one of them as, and this is probably only mean anything to the UK listeners, but a jazz free jazz saxophonist, as it was akin to Sweep. If you're familiar with Sooty and Sweep having a meltdown, which made me smile. And another one about avant-garde jazz. It was like an insurrection in a cutlery drawer. So I think they were quite amusing. Anyway, so as I say, so weird is relative. So I've picked 5 records that have got a little bit of a story to them. But I don't think any of them are weird. So I'll start with this. So this is Easy Star All Stars, Dub Side of the Moon. So this might be considered weird. It is a reggae version of Dark Side of the Moon. It is a fantastic and very, very good rendition of the whole album. And I first came across this on a very, very rare occasion several years ago. I happened to have been dragged shopping with my wife, and I think we were in a clothes shop, and so my wife was trying stuff on, and I was meandering around waiting, and I heard this reggae on the kind of playing in the shop, and I thought, that's all right. And then I thought, hang on a minute, that's Pink Floyd. And so I actually spoke to the guy behind and said, what's this? And he showed me, and I went off. I bought this on CD, and I've now got it on vinyl. There's also I think they do Radio Dread, or they do Radiohead songs as well, and some others I think. But I think this is the strongest that they do. So that's maybe weird. Maybe would stop a party in terms of. Hang on a minute, isn't that Pink Floyd? This one has stopped. Well, so this one is one record I can certainly when I've been asked to stop playing it. So this is a fantastic album. This is Dex's, so not Dex's Midnight Runners. This is Dex's. It's a fairly recent album. 2012, fairly recent, 8 years ago. Time flies. And it's a bit of a concept album, and it's got Kevin Rowland being Kevin Rowland to the max. So there's lots of kind of repeating the same lyric for effect that he does in his only the way he can, and I found it fantastic. And I think I remember I played it as a complete album. We were travelling on holiday through France, and I put it on. It was just my wife and my daughter at the time. My son obviously was older and not with us, after about half an hour I was asked to put something else on, when normally if I do all the driving in France, you know, what I want goes and everyone puts up with it. But in this case, I was asked to turn it off, which I was very disappointed about because I was enjoying it. But so yeah, Dexys. Okay, so next one. This is just maybe a weird in this concept, but actually could be a good party album. So this is Mort Garson and Plantasia, and this is yeah, full, warm, beautiful mood music, especially composed to aid in the growing of your plants. So it's, you know, so the tracks: Plantasia Symphony for a spider plant, Ode to an African Violet, Rhapsody in Green, Swinging, oh, I can't even say what that is, You Won't Have to Walk a Begonia. But this essentially is kind of a funky library record. So actually, although the concept and, you know, everything is very weird, this actually I could consider putting on at a party perhaps, and not clearing the house. Next up, and I could have just done this by going to my kind of reach into my exotica section and just pulling everything out because it's all a bit weird. But then this is kind of along that vein. So this is maybe kind of considered sort of like the kind of early dawnings of psychedelia. I think it's 1960, and this is Eden Arbes and Eden's Island, and so this is again a concept album perhaps of a tropical island and other different kind of situations. It's got field recordings as well as spoken and sung and instrumental pieces. It's a really good album, but it's a little bit weird. You have to be into it, I suppose. And then on a similar vein but closer to home, this is my fifth, and this is I kept this purely by chance. I think I bought a box of records at a car boot sale. Mostly it was bad classical, you know, really cheap budget classical stuff and not in very good condition. And there were just a couple of records I wanted in there, and it was easier just to buy the box. And this was in there, and I was going to throw it away or, you know, use it, repurpose it for packaging or whatever. But I actually played it, and it is brilliant and worth keeping in my mind. So this is, as it says, Countryside Calling. What does it say? Sounds of Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, recorded by Yolanda Kemp Robinson. So it's a mix of field recordings with some basic folky instrumentation in places, and then different people either singing or reciting folk tales or folk songs. So you've got you know, one song's got church bells, and it's all the field recordings are in Hampshire and the Isle of Wight, and I live in Hampshire, so hence maybe I come across this. But so it's got woodland birds and garden birds, heathland, farms, tractors, the seashore, you know, water and stuff like that, rivers flowing with people doing poetry and singing in it. And you know, this could be some kind of, you know, private press gem, but it's not. But it's a really interesting album. Not a party album, but I'm really glad that I actually didn't throw it. I actually listened to it, and I definitely, you know, would keep this in the collection as a timepiece. So that's me. Thanks. Bye.